it just keeps coming back. And you start to wonder, is this just some really, really persistent dirt, or am I dealing with something else? So let's get right into it. What is that stain, really? Because what you're seeing might be way more than just a little ugly spot. We are going to get to the bottom of this classic household mystery and figure out exactly what's going on. To get our answer, we're going to have to put on our detective hats. Seriously, we're going to use a really simple diagnostic toolkit. Basically, just your own eyes and nose to finger the real culprit behind that stain that refuses to leave. So this whole investigation is actually super simple. It really just comes down to 3 key tests. First, let's talk appearance. Dirt just kind of sits there on the surface and you can wipe it off, but mold grows into the surface. Then there's the smell test. Dirt doesn't really smell like anything, but mold has that unmistakable, musty, kind of earthy smell. And last but not least, location, location, location. If that stain is near a constant source of water, you're almost definitely looking at mold. Let's really zero in on that first test, the appearance, because it is the most telling clue. Think about it. Dirt is just like dust. It sits right on top, and you can wipe it away, no problem. But mold is a living thing. It actually embeds its roots deep into porous stuff like silicone and grout. And that's exactly why you can scrub till your arms are sore and it just won't go away for good. So here's the absolute dead giveaway. If you clean that stain, and I mean really scrub it, but it pops right back up in just a couple of days, that's your answer. That's not new dirt magically appearing. Nope, it's the same mold just regrowing from all those little spores that are hiding deep inside, way underneath the surface. All right, so now we've identified our culprit. It's mold. The next big question is, why is it even there? I mean, mold doesn't just show up out of thin air. It needs a very specific, cozy little environment to move in and start a family. What you're looking at here is basically the perfect storm for mold. It all starts with failing caulk. Those tiny cracks and gaps that let water sneak in behind the scenes. Then you add some constant moisture from showers or window condensation. And the cherry on top? Poor airflow that just traps all that humidity. That combo right there, well, it's basically a 5-star resort for mold. Okay, so you've got a little mold. Big deal, right? It's just ugly. Well, not quite. Ignoring this problem is about way more than just looks. There are some really serious hidden dangers here to both your wallet and, more importantly, your health. Let's talk about the money first. That little patch of mold is a giant red flag that water is trapped where it shouldn't be. If you just leave it, that moisture can lead to wood rot, your tiles can get loose, and that damage can spread into your actual walls. A tiny fix can explode into a repair bill that easily hits $2,000 or even more. And honestly, even more important than the money is your health. See, mold releases these microscopic spores into the air that you and your family are breathing. For a lot of people, this can trigger anything from annoying allergy symptoms and headaches to some pretty serious respiratory issues, especially for kids or older folks. Okay, so the stakes are pretty high, I get it. But the good news is there is a way to fix this permanently. But first, we absolutely have to talk about a couple of common DIY mistakes that tons of people make, mistakes that can actually make the whole problem a lot worse. This is myth number 1, and it's a big one. So many of us immediately reach for the bleach. But look, it's a temporary fix at best. Bleach just can't get down into porous surfaces to kill the mold's roots. And here's the real kicker. Bleach is mostly water. So after you've zapped the surface mold, you've actually just given the deeper roots a nice big drink, which helps it grow back even stronger. No joke. And here's the other classic mistake, just slapping a new layer of silicone right over the old moldy stuff. This is a total trap. All you're doing is sealing the problem in. You're trapping the moisture and all those spores underneath, creating this dark, damp little greenhouse where the mold can just thrive, totally hidden from sight. So what's the right way to do it? It's a really methodical 4-step process. First, you have to completely rip out all the old caulking to expose the mold at its source. Second, you disinfect the whole area with a real antifungal agent that kills the spores at the root. Third, and this is so important, you make sure the area is 100% dry. And finally, you apply a new, high-performance, industrial-grade silicone to create a brand new waterproof and antifungal seal. So once the problem is actually fixed the right way, the last piece of the puzzle is prevention. I mean, you don't want to be right back here in the same boat a year from now, right? So let's go over a few super simple habits that can keep your home healthy and totally mold-free. Here is your new prevention game plan. It's easy. First, keep surfaces dry. Just a quick wipe down helps a ton. Second, always use your fan to get the air moving. Third, use mild cleaners that won't eat away at your new silicone. And finally, just remember that even the best caulk needs a little TLC. Getting a professional to check on it every year or so is the best way to make sure moisture never gets a foothold again. So the next time you see that stubborn dark stain, you'll know. You'll know it isn't just dirt. It's a signal. It's your home literally telling you that there's a hidden moisture problem that needs your attention. So the only real question is, what are you going to do about it?